Alright, so we're doing a commentary video about a website I like to check out a lot. It's called Draftbetter.com. It's a good guy that runs the website by himself. He does a really good job. He puts up pictures of all the picks, and you can click on them, and it'll take you to another page where you can see them larger and look at them side by side. He gets some really good comments. A lot of people giving their take. Some people pick by pick, what they would have done differently. I do that sometimes. It's a really good website, and people are really thoughtful about what they say about it. Anyway, so he's doing a ACR draft here, 4-3-2-2. So he said he was going to try and Swiss draft, but he was in a hurry, and it wasn't filling up as quickly as the 4-3-2-2. So in his first pick here, he's got a Bant Charm, which generally you wouldn't take first pick. Magma Spray, Rock's Charger is pickable. Here I like the nothing else is really I don't think first pickable. So I like the Magma Spray here. It removes creatures from the game, which is nice against unearthed guys. And it's one of the only really good 1-mana removal spells in the format. Rock's Charger's fine. I'm not a huge fan of green anyway, though, and although he is one of the better exalted creatures, clearly. But I don't like to try and play exalted anyway, so I would take the Magma Spray. I don't think he does. He takes the Rock's Charger. Second pick, he's got an Algae Gharial to go with his Charger, a Fate Stitcher, Knight of the Skyward Eye. Can't really think about Deft Duelist with the first. He's got a Bone Splinters in here. I'm not a huge fan of Bone Splinters. I think it's fine, but I wouldn't take it really highly. After his first pick, I might just go ahead and take the Gharial. I've played a lot of games where keeping the Gharial back and letting trades happen has just wound up being a winning strategy because you can't kill the damn thing. Knight of the Skyward Eye puts you into white-green aggro, which I think Draftbetter likes a lot. I've done okay with that deck build, and that's what he does. He takes the Knight of the Skyward Eye. So that's fine, which is much better like in green-white than Algae Gharial, because Algae Gharial wants to be in a like a Jund deck usually. Although I think it's pretty good regardless. Okay, so third pick. Third pick here, he's thinking about his green-white deck, I think. So he's got a Sculler here. Probably not going to take Infiltrator if you wanted to go Bant. It's a pretty good Bant card. One of the best ones. Another Knight of the Skyward Eye, which is pretty good. And Jungle Shrine. In green-white, mana fixing isn't as important. Getting your really aggressive guys is more important. So after his first two picks, I would take the Knight of the Skyward Eye again, and I think he does too. So yeah, he takes it. Okay, here he's got Sigil Blessing, a Krasin Squire, Naya Battle. I mean, this is just like clearly green-white's open. I like Sigil Blessing a lot. It's hard to pass a Krasin Squire, though. Naya Battle Mage is nice, too. But, I mean, any of these are arguably fine. Any of these three I would be fine with. I believe he goes with the Krasin Squire, and I'm not sure what I would take with his earlier picks, so that's fine. He takes the Krasin Squire. It's just one of the very few 1-drops that you'll have, whereas the other picks, you might get other cards for that. Okay, here he's got another Krasin Squire and another Sigil Blessing. He goes with the Krasin Squire again, which is fine. I don't have any big problems with that. Okay, here all of a sudden looks like Esper's being underdrafted, and there's a lot of this stuff in here. With a lot of these aggressive exalted guys, Guardians are fine, just because you know, they increase your exalted count and they help you win the race by being able to block. So that's what he takes. Just continuing to cut off green-white. Now he's in a kind of a bad situation. He's got a Naya Panorama, but blue and black are just clearly coming really heavy. But it's probably a little too late to move into anything else. He could go into Bant, I guess, but Naya Panorama is probably the pick. And that's what he takes. Okay, here is a really, really late Vythian Stinger. Grixis Battle Mage is good, Viscera. So yeah, blue-black, super open. Grixis would have been a good shard to draft, which is probably what I would have ended up in if I had taken the first picks that I was talking about. Magma Spray, and then my second pick probably would have been something like Fate Stitcher. And then third pick I might have gone with even the Sculler and try and go into Esper. Anyway. So maybe not Grixis, but Esper. But anyway, so he takes the Across and Squire, or the Vythian Stinger here. So that's fine. Might splash into red. And here there's a bunch of Grixis again. Cataract Creeper's pretty late. And let's see, Yoked Plow Beast, I guess he can take, or Dispeller's Capsule. I don't like Yoked Plow Beast very much. I'd probably rather take the Capsule. Yeah, that's what he takes. Okay. Here he's got Welkin Guide, which is fine. Clearly that's what you would take in green-white. It gives you some good reach. Welkin Guide's really good in green-white. So, here he has nothing really. Worst thing for him to... He can take the Submersion if he's going to splash red. Yeah. And here is nothing again. Just take the red card. Ridge Renet. That's what he does. Sunseed Nurturer, and then he gets some Chafe for the last two picks. Alright, so pick one in Conflux. Here's Paleoloth, which isn't bad. For green-white aggro, Across and Squire is probably better. Gluttonous. Just try and stick to straight green-white. Doesn't look like anything else worth taking, so yeah, the Across and Squire. That's what he takes. So here he has a Path to Exile. That's nice because he has almost no removal, or no removal really. So he obviously is going to take that. So Path to Exile. Here he doesn't have anything too exciting. I would take the Might of Alara here, even though it's only +2/+2 in this deck, because I mean you really want a few pump spells in a green-white deck, and you're not going to get any in the third pack unless he splashes into red. So he takes the Sicellum Archers here, I guess, thinking he might have to splash into red, and they're pretty solid if you do. But then if you have to splash into red, Might of Alara is better anyway. Okay, here we've got not a whole lot. Valorant Outlander is fine. Good 2 for a 2/2, and that's what he takes. Here he's got Ember Weaver, Meditant, Nacatl Savage. Ember Weaver is what I would take. Even if it never gets turned on, it's still a 2/3 reach. And Savage is only good in sideboard. Yeah, he takes the Ember Weaver. Alright, so here we've got Sylvan Bounty, which is pretty bad in this deck. Outlander again. Hominoculus. Every once in a while I could see playing Hominoculus even in green-white if he had enough artifacts, but that's going to be pretty rare. So Valorant Outlander looks like the pick, and that's what he takes. Okay, here we don't have very much. He's got the Matka Rioters. 3 for a 2/2 is pretty bad though. But there's nothing else really to consider taking except a hate draft, maybe Wretched Banquet because it's good against us. Or the Goblin Outlander actually. But he goes and takes the Matka Riders. It'll be playable if he ends up playing 3 colors. Here we've got Rock's Meditant, Scattershot, Lapse. I'd go with Lapse of Certainty. It's really good in green-white. I've won a lot of games lapsing their later game plays after I get all my beaters down. He goes for the Rock's Meditant. I don't really like him in